Tuesday, once again, back for more rambles, more talks, more sharing, something about life. Yeah, I changed my hair. I actually got a comb that works for all types of hair, which surprised me. I thought it was going to be difficult since I do have curly, super curly hair. It curls up like a steel wire ball, and it's painful when I want to straighten it up. And of lately, I'm tired of people like going to the salon and getting my hair done. I prefer doing it on my own. Yeah. So yeah, I got that device. It's actually here. Something like, I'm not advertising though, but worth it. Worth the money. Um so today we are going to talk about UNITY unity. And as I described it as the simplest thing to do, but the hardest thing to achieve and to gain, since we always have people with different intentions, people who are benefiting from maybe the war or the discordance between different parties, and they would rather remain it to be remaining conflict affiliated than just harmony. And that's why there's no like standard, like the world will be like quiet down, uh, without fear of going to school or being attacked anywhere, and be safe, be it no not any time of the day and any time of the night. Yeah, it's something that's we all need for peace of mind, and also just to live life and enjoy life. Someone calls themselves Potato. Hi, welcome. In case of any comments about the topic today, you can talk, or any other pop-up question, you can comment on the comment section. I don't delete the videos after the live, so you can rewatch it in case of referring to it, and you can watch the previous ones. Also, yeah, unity in itself, it's something, it's just a simple word in the dictionary at this point of life, since not everyone has, some people have different intentions, some people are just greedy, some people are just evil. And chicken jockey, the food, some people are just crazy in simpler times and point. Because tell me why. Okay, like I'll give an example. Like here in our country, we have devolution system where we have uh, the main governance of, or the main, what's called, national government, where the president is the head and has the ministers um, who are given certain dockets to manage. And then from there we have the county governance, that's from the governor, senator. We have women rep, and most of us Kenyans don't even know. Okay, it was used, the women rep seat was used to get the female percentage, I guess, like it was 2 to 1 or 3 to 1. A third of the seats supposed to go to women. So trying to be feminist in the wrong way, and they're given a seat that is not clear on what the rules are, what they're supposed to do, or what the responsibilities are. So not even in every county, if you ask people who's the women rep, they have no idea. and it's sad. It's a seat, and that person is given salary and allowances, and yet, yeah, I think that's a loophole that was created for money to go. My thoughts on opinion, and this is for entertainment purposes, allegedly. Then okay, we have governor, senator, women rep, then we have MPs, members of parliament, and then we have ward and administrators who are the MCAs, and then chief, and the DCCs, district commissioner, something. Anyway, um, like here in the county I live in Kajiado. We are a semi-arid area, which is prone to have, when it's dry season, it's super dry, no food, and sometimes in the interior parts we have famine outbreaks and such. And then they have, because most of the community members who are there are Maasais, uh, and they rely on their livestock, which the indigenous livestock, like the cattle and the goats and sheep, are the indigenous type, the one that go long without water, and they travel for long distances. And since we have I'll say, from what we grew up with, we have developed, and now we have communications. People have mobile phones. um, Roads have been made, not all. Here in our county, it's a crazy polit political thing, and yet you'll find people dying of famine. And our neighboring county, it's not like we have a big mass of water separating the counties. It's just an invisible line, and the neighboring county is Kiambu, and it's always green. It rains most of the time of the year. They are farmers. Most of them are Kikuyus who live there. So there is farming that is happening, and you cannot even find the county governor of Kiambu talk to the county governor of Kajiado. They can have a trade, like, we don't have food the time of drought. We'll give you some of our livestock, and then we exchange to help our people at least have a meal, and also have a trading system, so that at least they have money for health purposes, for everyday living. But they will not do that. Somebody commented, and I thought that was right, saying people in power always want um, their subjects to live beyond below their means, so that they don't overthrow the people in power. And that's a notion, like, all over the world. We forget that the people have power because we are the ones who vote them to office. Then they forget they were voted into office, and they forget also that the people are their employers, because tax comes from the people, the votes come from the people. If they are not satisfied with how you work, it's easy to vote you out, and go look for the person who's suitable, or the next person who'll work for them. Like here where I live, Kajiado County in Ngong, we have never voted the same MCA back, ever since the evolution started. Because if you're voted in and then you don't work, we give you those 5 years, enjoy that salary. Then we just say, for 5 years you enjoyed the salary, go home and enjoy. being home. And I think that's where we are headed now. If people are not accountable of whatever they are doing, the, the dissatisfaction is there. And you'll find people unifying, which is also part of the unity, and doing right by their people. Hi, sorry, Hossein Trex, welcome. Potato, bye bye. Um, any pointers about unity or how you look on unity and how to unify? Or here in Kenya, we are united whenever online people, we are called sometimes bullies, but it's not bully, it's just reply. And most of the time, yeah, if you're negative towards our country, we try to say save it by all means. Hello, welcome. um and then unity is, here's an unpopular thought. um what if we decided to not have governance at all, and just become one big world country without leadership and all that? We just do trades, move about without boundaries of or customs or visas needed, and just leave. And then somebody might tell me that's a story when you're high, but one can only wish or hope that we can have that calmness. Then you think of all the weapons that are created for human destruction, and we forget also when you're creating that destruction, you might be the one to be the casualty of it, which is ironic. And most of the people you'll hear who invented such weapons died by such weapons. Maybe they were the test runs. I thought not popular. Yeah, that was my thought of unity, and hopefully, like right now, we are celebrating Burkina Faso of the youngest African president to rise up and help their people from the neocolonial neocolonialism, and also work for their people. Here in Kenya, it's just drama. It's just dramatic. It's somehow, it's like watching all types of genres of comedy, action, drama. Do you have lies? Lies, where does lies fall into? Drama or sitcom? Fictional? Oh yeah, yeah, fictional. There's fictional, there's action. Every day it's something new and something that you wonder. That's why even other African countries say we have Africans and then we have Kenyans. We are just a different breed. And it's not because of that we're different. It's just that if you look on the history part of Kenyan political issues, it came from colonialism with the British. Then we had our first president, Kenyatta, who died while he was still a president. And then it was taken over by the vice president, who sat on that seat for 24 years. And during his stay, that's why I say Kenya has just dramatic all through, and action and drama, just everything, genre. So during the 24 years, we had a failed coup that was attempted. We had failed assassinations. We had extrajudicial killings that happened, and we could not utter the president's name without fearing for consequences. We had weird weird things happening all over. Then after that, when he finished the 24 years that ended, well, he was going, the the one who followed was Kibaki, and he got the presidency while during his campaign he had an accident, and he won while he was on a wheelchair. And actually, when he's swearing in, he was still on his wheelchair because he had broken legs and uh, issues with the spine. And the former president for 24 years, while he was entering the stadium, people decided to say hi with their hands. He was roughed up before he reached the podium because people were angry at that time, because 24 years he had made the economy fail, industry fail, unemployment was on the rise and all that, and insecurity was on the rise. Then when the Kibaki entered the presidency, the first term, um, within one, that's why I celebrate him. And this, I keep on singing. If only we can elect people who are able, who understand how to help the economy of the country be better, for the better of the people and the children of the country. Kibaki, after 1 month he was sworn in, we had free education in primary school and secondary school within 1 month. Something that the previous president, who stayed for 24 years, the only thing he gave us was milk, free milk. And not all schools got that free milk. So you can deduce where some money was going. Kibaki helped with the constructions of the roads, expansion of the major roads, which were highways, and yet they were 2 lanes. And now, when he had left, paid for the expansion of the major roads to 4 lanes and tarmac. The second term, that's when we had the ugly face of post-election violence. And he won. Well, it depends who you ask. He won because we were watching the results of that election, and then all of a sudden there was a blackout. And when the lights came back, he was being sworn in again. So yeah, that's why I say it depends who you ask. Then after him, we had Uhuru, who came with his brother. That's when we had devolution. For the president has to have his running mate, who's the deputy president. And I think that's when, whew, yeah, we have had a run for it. Kenya just has drama with each presidency. You just hear drama. Oh, the first president, there's a time he had gone to Kisumu, and well, rotten eggs were thrown. And yeah. Oh, Kenya do know how to throw things. You thought the shoe the other day was new. Oof. You should ask our fathers and grandmothers what happened after the eggs were thrown. Yeah, it's a part of the history of Kenya. It's just if you Google that, you'll be shocked to hear what happened. And then we had, after, I think during Kibaki reign as president, that's when we heard about the Nyayo dungeons and what used to happen for 24 years of our president of 24 years, the longest serving president. He's late now. Even Kibaki passed on. We have we only have two presidents who are alive. The previous president, who's Uhuru, and the current one. Yeah. Yeah. And okay, enough of politics. Unifying people is, it should come from our homes. That's why I say, like, parents, sometimes there's that separation of who's the disciplinarian in the house and who's the fun parent. And kids associate with the fun parent more, or sometimes with the disciplinarian more, because they see the parent is helping shape their future or helping them to be better in the future. Gemarisha, hi, welcome. And I'll say, if parents themselves are not in agreement and then they show that disagreement in front of the kids, it just comes out that, okay, one parent is this way and the other parent is that way. And how you relate to that is how you relate to your parents. Back when I was young, my mom was the major, let me just say, the primary disciplinarian and also the fun parent at the same time, because my dad was absent most of the time. And we saw her as the safety net of the parent who cared, because they will punish. When my mom used to beat me up, she'll tell me later on, like trying to soothe me, like, African parents don't say sorry. Mm-mm. She will tell me, I was not beating you, I was beating your mistake. And I'm like, no, the mistake didn't feel pain. I'm the one who felt the pain. And no, she'll just try, after the disciplination, she'll try to explain, like, this is why I beat you up. Okay, this is what you did wrong. Next time you'll not do it again. And believe you me, those are the life lessons that shaped me to date. We still talk. She knows I do this. She actually watches. It's not that I'm bashing, it's something that happens. So, and we laugh about it now. Then we go and check on, that's why we say firstborns go through a lot, because we are the ones who are like the learning curve. And it comes with, you get the more beatings than the more reasoning. Sorry to say. But the type of parenting that is happening right now, even my friends who have kids tell me that nowadays it's rare they beat their children or discipline their children by little pats. Those are not little in Kenya, in Africa. But children nowadays need a lot of talking to. And I'm like, oh, yeah, talking to, the new kind of parenting. Am I with it? Since I'm not yet there, I'm still skeptical about it. I'm like, okay, my mom's way worked, but I also see the talking to the kids is also working to some parents. So it depends with how you maneuver with the children that you have. Yeah. So unity just begins at home. How you agree on certain boundaries and certain things to do, and that's it. Then we can move on to the greater heights of helping the country or helping the world to be unified in some things, in some awkward topics that when you start that topic, people are very uncomfortable about talking about it, like slavery, which is also happening right now, and we know about it mostly on the western side of Africa. We even know the it's called what, the corridor where the human trafficking is happening. Even here in Kenya, we have heard of stories. Uh, it's oof, it's up to during now. It's crazy that it's still happening even now. Hi, Stitch Slayer. Hmm, welcome. Uh, but now here's my thing about that. We have customs in the borders and all the. Yes, we have the no man's lands where people can use and cross over and all that. But some officials know, they do know these things are happening, and actually there are some of them who are involved in such things. And I always wonder, they do have families, and yet you let another person's child go through that and think your children or your family, because they benefit from that money with or without knowing, and you think the cries of those people will go unanswered. Here in Kenya, okay, in my community we have curses, um and curses is not the one that you just, not the words, the cussing out. It's like leaving your caste, like, not the spells, but it's a caste. Like, we have different ones. We say there's the one that your parent leaves you if you had disagreements or something, or your parents, your elderly. And then we have the one that mostly is ignored about. We call it caste, road caste, which means maybe we meet somewhere or even online, and then maybe you decide to say some ugly things, or you decide to say or do, or maybe defamation, you do something about me, defame my name and all that, and then maybe it hurts me in the sense of popularity, or hurts me financially, or hurts me personally, the feelings. Then I might say that person, the person who did that, they'll never live happy, or that's the curse of the road, because we we um we assume it. And sometimes, okay, the perfect example is like physically, you're walking down the streets and then you bump into somebody. Instead of saying sorry or like be polite, you start throwing insults and all that, and that person wonders, in their thought process and subconscious, they're like, this is an undisciplined person, or someone who doesn't have manners, home training. And they might say something that you'll regret, like this person will regret for their lives. And since you don't know this person you bumped into, or whatever they say, you just like shrug it off and be on your way. And then later on, you realize things are not going the way you had planned, but you cannot trace back why your plans are just crazy. That's no, that's the curse of the road. because we say in Swahili, tenda wema nenda zako, do good and be on your way. Did I translate that right? But yeah, it's roughly saying that do good and be on your way. So whenever you are, just be polite. That's actually my pattern. My name. Hi, Yuraj. Welcome. What's my name? Twincat. That's my nickname and my stage name and my music name. But yeah, that's my name. I go by Wincat. Until next Tuesday will be suggest a topic. Thank you. Thanks for the compliment and thanks for the comments and the greetings. I'm not a gamer. I'm not, I don't do makeup. Actually, this is my face. I woke up like this. I'm actually all natural, from my hair to my skin tone, to my skin, to my face. Yeah, I don't do makeup. I just do live topics, things that we can relate as everyday persons, be it famous person or normal person. And we talk about everything that affects everyone in the world. I've talked about gender violence, I've talked about love, I've talked about cheating, family. And if you want to know more, watch the videos on my page, subscribe, listen. I also sing. And soon I'm releasing. Yeah, I went to the studio on Saturday, so yeah, something is in the cooking, in the making. I'm cooking up something. Yeah, and I'm from Kenya. Welcome to join and visit our lovely land. I said visit. Our lovely, but we don't chase people away. We are very hospitable. Yeah, and in case of any topic you want to talk, you can comment below. I've talked about, yeah, the taboo ones, even sex, love, hate, temper. I think the previous one was the temper one. Temper. Today it was a mixture of politics and and unity. Yeah. Hello. Just as I'm about to wind up, that's when people are, but welcome. You can watch Jamshad. Yes, I said hi. Hello. You can watch, I don't delete the lives, so they still go to my page. Kenya. I'm from Kenya. Jamshad. Remat. Okay. I hope I said your name. I didn't butcher your name. Until next time. That was the topic for today. Like, subscribe. Bye-bye.